So good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's always an honor whenever my guy at the top gets me involved in any of his activities or his projects. I'm always very happy to come. And so, uh, my name is Mike. He has done a very generous introduction. So, but I know you've been having a very wonderful time, and I know that this is a hybrid one. So I'm going to be very, very straight to the point. And if you have questions, maybe I'll just leave it that the questions will come at the end, right? So that it will be easier for all of us. So analytics with Excel and Power BI. By the way, if there's one thing you need to take out from this my slide, you can always go to that my LinkedIn and connect with me. Then there is a free stuff. If you go to the website www.yourbizedge.com, I think on the homepage you'll see somewhere where you can access some free stuffs there. So those two places, because I want to move to the next screen. I'm not very good with advertising myself. So if anything I will be of value, you can connect to me on LinkedIn and that website. You will get some free things there. Analytics with Excel and Power BI. Okay. Ordinarily, I should be asking you, what are your exposure to Excel and Power BI? But then to do justice to the time we have, I'm going to ask it, then I'm going to answer it. So I'm going to answer it as, let me not take any assumption. So luckily, I've spoken with Oga Kazim before the training, and I've gotten some idea around the way I should go as regards the audience, what the your expectation will be like. And if you look at my screen, I know that we have a mixture of students and people who, I don't know, maybe people are ahead of me career-wise and people just behind me career-wise. But the thing is, I want all of us to think or to take this from the perspective of we are students. Generally, we are all still students in life. We are just in different organizations, different schools. Some of us are students in a university. Some of us are students at the workplace. Some of us are students, so we are all still students. So please, if you think that maybe the way I'm taking this is not factoring what you already know, apologies, just bear with me. So now, imagine that I'm a student. Imagine that I am you who is a student. And if you're not a student, then follow me and imagine that you're a student, right? When you get out of the university environment, when you get into a company, I know not all students have this plan of working. Some are ethical, some are like, I want to be like their favorite, they want to be like their favorite professor. They want to have a life that is patterned around academics. There's nothing bad in it, but then I'm not using you as the illustration here. So if you are one of that, then you have to drop that cloth and wear another cloth. So just imagine you are the student who, once you graduate, your goal is to get an employment, is to become valuable in the workplace, to grow your career, right? Then we all know, okay, maybe you do not know, but the truth is this: what you read in school, what you read in the university is not the most important thing for you the moment you are out of the university and you're in the job place, you're in the career place, right? That's one. Number two, I'm sad to tell some of us who are very popular in the university this, but it's just the truth. You see, nothing in the university as regards your popularity, your what's the other thing we use, how well you are known, how well other students respect you. It has nothing to do with what happens there, in the career world. Okay, so number three, which is now the good news, is just the same way primary school is to the university. Is the same way the university is to the outside world, right? They are also completely different, that you have to start preparing your mindset to meeting the kind of expectations that exist there. So that brings me to what you see on the screen, right? You as someone entering into the career place or growing your career, the number one thing that everybody agrees that every company that it's not your parent who owns it, or you're not like politically connected and you can use your influence to get the job, what they all want is the value you can bring, the value you can bring. And so that brings me, ties back to what you have on the screen. Every 21st century company, every modern company knows that data is a very strong component in their in their in their in their strategy, in their achieving their corporate goals, right? So that's why data is becoming ability to, well, data first of all. So 2008, 2007, when 2009, when I was getting small exposure to the corporate world, guess what was reigning then? Oracle certifications. They were the rave then. Almost everybody, my cousin, myself, I was in electrical electronics engineering, nothing to do with computer science or that aspect of. We were expected to be climbing NEPA masts, and if you are lucky, you go work in an IT firm. I think, yeah, and then MTN, that was also becoming popular then. Okay, so all of us, then my cousin who read, can't even remember what course he was in, but his course was in arts, nothing to relate with computer science. He did Oracle, he did that certification. That was how popular it was, right? And what does Oracle database certification mean? That you can set up database, because then companies were beginning to set up proper database systems. So that was why that was popular. Cisco too was popular. So I did CCNA, a lot of people too, but it was very tough. So not everybody went that route, but almost everybody got caught in the Oracle race. Okay. So then in Nigeria, a lot of companies were beginning to set up data structure, do connections to make it possible for all these things to talk among themselves, staff to be able to access enterprise services, all of that. Okay. So if I look at now, it seems that that part is well filled. No company is struggling with finding somebody to set up. In fact, you can import data systems. You can go on AWS, go on Azure, go on Google Cloud, go on any cloud services, and you just set up the data structure you want. So that seems like it is met. They don't even need to hire a human being to think it up, the architecture, and to design it anymore. They can get blueprints, they can plug into existing systems. So that part seems to be no longer something that there's a gold rush around. Guess what the gold rush about is? The gold rush today is, well, right now, right? And I tell you it will change soon, but right now the rave of the moment is data analytics. That is the rave of the moment. Data is the new oil, prediction, this, that. Data is the new rave. So why I'm setting this as a background is that I don't want to think of it in context of, no, I'm not learning anything in university, or I'm planning to go into a career that will make me a data analyst. Forget about it. That's nothing to do with that. And then the other thing is, well, in case you are the popular people in the person in university, just begin to connect your head with what will happen outside, where you are like everybody starting from ground zero again. So you have to skill yourself or position yourself favorably for that outside world. And if you're already in the organization, in building your careers and all, apologies that I'm saying what you already know. So great. Now, I've set the stage for why data analysts are very valuable now, or in quotes, they are in high demand, because companies right now already have ways of setting up data structure. What they now need is someone who has the knowledge to be able to tie all those things together and show them what is happening in their business, show them what is happening in the industry, show them where opportunities, are available for them to explore. Just help them make better sense of the data that exists within their organization, and data that exists in their industry, and data that can be gotten, maybe social media and every other places. Okay, so three things give companies this competitive edge. Number one, what they know. That's why I said when I started, Oracle and those certifications are around you setting up enterprise system, connecting them together are very popular. to help the company to set up a data warehouse or data systems that help them capture the data they want. So yes, and most companies already do not struggle with that anymore. Number two is how they use what they know, how the company uses what it knows. That's where data analysts come into place. That's where people who need to interact with those systems come into play. So they start creating insightful reports. They start creating things that show management, this is how we are doing, this is how we've been doing over the last couple of weeks or months. This is how the industry is like, and all those things. So that's where data analysis, kind of plays a very important role. Then number three, how fast you know things, right? So how far you know the things that are happening in the organization as a company, how fast. So what do we mean by how fast? Have you heard of the word, I will have said NIA, Nigeria Intelligence Agency, but let's use CIA. At least we watch a lot of movies, or you will know about them. The whole concept is that CIA, which stands for Central Intelligence Agency, means that they should know more about what is happening than the regular citizens in USA. And our own to Nigeria Intelligence Agency, or is it National Intelligence Agency, whatever the full meaning of ours is, the same rule that applies, right? So they knowing what is happening as fast as is happening, even before the president, and advising the president, right? That's the same thing too. So when you talk about BI, have you never thought of it that way? That business intelligence, why is it called business intelligence? Simply the same thing. Companies that go into BI, they want to know things as fast as they are happening, right? So that's why it's called BI, business intelligence. And so that's the number three. That's where not all companies are on that side yet, but everybody is seeing it as where they need to be. That's where Power BI is getting a lot of attention. Like if you have Power BI skills, you can't be, as they say, it's difficult getting a job currently in Nigeria. You will be overwhelmed. That's the truth. Yeah, I don't know about money, because money is another different thing, but about you gaining, overwhelmed with things to do, that I guarantee you, because that BI is that aspect where so many companies are still finding their feet around. There's so many limitations with the way we already do reports that makes it such that there are new systems that helps you to automate and know things as soon as they are happening. So great. Let's now go into, I have my presentation split into slides and showcase, okay? So if you stay with me to the end, you will enjoy the good part, the showcase, where I'm showing you really cool stuff, hoping to show you cool things anyway. So number one, Excel. Excel, I don't know if some of you work in departments where maybe actuarial or statistics or mathematics, where you do with number, or even accounting, right? Accounting, you should know Excel, but statistics, actuarial, they can go ahead with finishing their entire program, maybe even doing a master's, and never really using Excel. Why? Maybe they use eViews, they use SPSS, they use some other software. But you know what? The moment you get into the business world, you just remove all your attachments to SPSS, eViews, those other tools that you'll be using while you are in the academic space, because Excel is like a common language everybody is expected to speak when dealing with reports, especially ad hoc reports. Ad hoc reports are reports that you need to do now to just get some things done. There's a presentation next week. You need to do some analysis to make your presentation. There's a plan. There's a deliberation about should we expand, do a business case. The analysis is done in Excel. You even want to do wedding, you want to do stuff in the office, maybe you want to go for a get together, want to analyze the cost, then again, I tell you, Excel is more like that too, that everybody expects that you quickly whip it up and start doing some things in it. So when it comes to on the fly analysis, something that you just want to do to quickly go from data to insight, Excel seems to be like the main tool in the business world. So even if you know that you want to learn something more complex, you want to tick this box first, that you can use Excel very well. Okay, so I can't teach you Excel in this session. So that's why I'm hoping that I can at least set you on a journey, right? Raw data to analysis with charts. Okay, good. Then there's Power BI. And I already told us what BI stands for, business intelligence. And it's not just a name. Think about it the way you think about CIA. So when a company sets up a BI system in their organization, what it means is they want to know things as fast as they are happening. If you are a manufacturing company, so take for instance, we are Coca-Cola. If we have a BI system, right, what it means is our sales are happening, right, as almost as the moment these guys on the field are selling, they made those sales. You on the management side, you on the people in the office who are accessing the report should be able to see it pop up in your own report. You should see that sales line. You should see maybe it's going up or it's coming down, like they are not doing as much sales as they've been doing it in a couple of days. So that's BI, the fact that you want to see things as close to real time as possible. And the advantage of that is, I don't know if you've watched this movie, Margin Call, where they say in the stock market world, in the trading world, they say you are the, it's either you're the fastest, you're the biggest, or you're the, I don't remember the third one, but speed is a very, very important thing. I work also a bit with financial modeling, stock analysis, speed in trying to do forex trading, stock trading, any financial markets trading. Speed is the most important thing. It sounds funny. It's more important than even sometimes your algorithm or whatever formula and stuff you compute, right? So it's the same thing too in the business world. It might not be as serious as in the financial world, but it's also like that. You don't want to be flogging your staff or praising your staff, or comparing yourself based on old data that is not reflective of what is happening right now. You want to know if a product is no longer available in stock. You want to know as soon as it happens. You want to know if there's a problem happening in a company that has like 2,000 staff, 20 departments. How are you going to know if your reports are already 1 day old? A lot of damages are already done. By the time you are knowing it, a lot of time is lost. So you want to know things as quickly as they're happening, right? So that's why it's really, really super important in companies now that they set up some form of BI. So that's rehashing what I've said. Power BI connects directly to a whole lot of data sources. So that's a bit on the technical side, but the concept is you want to connect to the data where they are. If I'm connecting to data even on social media, say, I don't want to say Twitter because it's a quote banned. So let's say you're connecting to Google search, you're connecting to YouTube, you're connecting to Instagram. So as stuffs are happening, as people are messaging about something, you want to see the analytics pop up. There was a project I was to involve in for MTN, and that was something they were doing. You want to see as people are talking about some things, how it impacts you consumer behavior. Are people recharging more or making phone calls more, making SMS more when some kinds of things have been discussed? And it made a lot of sense because they service people who you can put a thumb around on their pulse by going on social media. So there's a whole lot of use cases where you want to connect to data, directly and see what is happening and use it to check what is, what you are doing as to your goals. Okay. And the cool thing about you being able to use BI, I'll show you Excel. So most of the things I have now in the slides are more about BI because I think most people are familiar with Excel to some extent. So there is not so much I can try to show you that is new compared to Power BI. The reports are always better. That's the cool thing. You don't have to do too much to get something that is really cool. Then there's no fragmentation. It's a bit tricky to explain here, but just let me move to the next. I'm looking at my time. Let me just move to the next slide. Then it has automation, reports that people will build in Excel. I'm using Excel in code because most of the time you'll be migrating reports from Excel to BI or doing something that people used to do in Excel before and making it better and bigger in BI. In Excel, the person maybe is doing daily report every day, getting the data, redoing the same amount of 2 hours work, right? The same amount of analysis. In Power BI, you do it once and you automate it that it should be doing by itself every day or every couple of hours. Okay. Then it's built for the modern user right from ground up. So meaning you can consume it on mobile, like right. You won't like the experience of checking an Excel report on your phone. It's not something you're going to enjoy. But with Power BI, it's something you will look forward to. You will enjoy because they have taken mobile into mind right from the one. It allows you to set alerts. So in Excel, you will do conditional formatting. If something is bad, red. If it's good, green. But until you open the Excel file and take a look at it, you will not know whether the thing has gone bad or gone good. But in Power BI, it's going to push it to you. You're going to get an alert, in your email saying, oh, this thing has happened, So that's one of the cool things about it. I'm going to just breeze. You can download to PowerPoint. Already has like a PowerPoint kind of slide. You might not know why PowerPoint might be a big deal yet, but the thing is, the more one progresses in his career in the corporate world, the more you're expected to do presentations. If some of your friends or you yourself have gone for pitches where you're trying to raise money from investors or investment pitch, it's always PowerPoint. So that it's a lot much bigger too in companies where you need to sell your ideas, you need to explain to people up there what is happening. It's PowerPoint. You cannot write it in Word or leave it just in Excel. So it has what we call drill down capability. It has lots of nice features, control access. I do a report in Power BI for LASU, and you know what? Each faculty, the faculty head, so VC can see everything. The head of engineering faculty, the people in engineering faculty, they will not see everything. They will only see things that pertain to their faculty. The people in another faculty, say environmental faculty, I don't know too much, so just bear with me as I'm mentioning. I'm using my own university and changing the words to maybe look like yours. In my own university footer, we call it School of Engineering, School of this, School of that, but I know most other universities, faculty of this, faculty of that. But the key thing is that I can send everybody the same report, and you're only going to see what aligns to you, what I have said you should see based on your faculty or your level. Okay, so that's one very super good thing about it. And you can push the report out every day. So you can say every day the report should go out, maybe 6 a.m. in the morning or 8 a.m. in the morning. So they just get waiting for them in their email. So those are some of the things. AI, it has AI. And ultimately, in summary, it is that companies are able to do more because, yes, they can now do a richer report on what has been happening in the past, but because they are connecting directly to the data, they're also able to see what is happening right now, and which makes it a very fertile, a very useful way to go into prediction. Why? You are not trying to predict using yesterday's data anymore. And you're now predicting today when you should actually be reporting what is happening today, right? So with this approach, you can be able to predict with the most recent data to forecast into the future, and people will trust your prediction more rather than when your data is always 1 day or 2 days or 3 days behind. Okay, so before I go to any questions, I said my presentation is a two-part. There's this slide, then now wait for the rush of the century. So I'm going to really rush through this one. So the showcase. Okay, so let's start with Excel. What are the things, just to open our minds to the things that are popular with Excel? You might not be able to read French, so don't bother trying to read this, but just to help you prove that this is a real work I did for. So I'm learning French, and one time I had to do immersion, go to Benin, and they attached me to a company so that at least I'll be learning French, and then I can produce value for them since I'm on their time, blah blah. So the key thing is that what I decided to do for them, they like the kind of company you will meet in Computer Village where they are selling computer stuff. So I created something where they can manage their sales stuff, where they can say, oh, we have stocked this new product, then you enter it. We have a new category of product. So we are now selling, maybe we are now selling printing materials, printer related materials, blah, blah. So once you enter that, those using these data entry forms, user forms, they will populate here. Then when there is a sale, so when there is a sale, all you do is you click here and then you enter, oh, on today, 31 July 2021, we sold, we sold, we sold to Mr. Kazim. Let me use my Oga as example here. So we sold to Mr. Kazim, we sold to him. What should we? Anyway, I just picked something. Maybe he bought 164 gigabyte USB drive. He bought like, I don't know, maybe he wants to celebrate something and dash people. He bought like 100 of them. We sell them for like, so Cephas in Benin, they spend Cepha. So maybe we sold them to him at 20,000 Cephas. And then how did he make payment? He paid in cash. I don't want you to say boom. It's if you need to enter more records, great, populate it. But that thing that I've rented, you see it here already. So we have sold to Mr. Kazim, blah blah. His name is showing, and then blah blah. Has he made payment? He's going to pay in cash. So that way they fill that in, and it populates here. You're going to see his name instantly here. See that Kingston, blah blah, that we sold him, and the report will generate by itself, and you see the dates and all of that. This is Excel, purely Excel. Okay. Let me go to another thing we use internally. Look at the time. Let me press that. I thought I opened it. I thought I opened everything. Okay, this is it. So this is a leave tracker. So my colleague designed this for us to, so let's say you are one of our employees, you want to go for your maternity leave. So maybe you're a lady, you've given birth, once it tracks it, and then next month, so it shows how many leaves you've taken in this period, and you see you can choose the month, you can, and that way it helps also that people will not take leaves that are overlapping in the same period. Excel, this is Excel. I hope you notice this Excel, right? Good. What other thing do I have for the Excel side? How many of you are aware of project management? Just wave your hand. I can see you from the camera. So if you know project management, just wave your hand. When it comes to project management, this is one big deal. Gantt chart. For planning of resources, when something will start, will end. Guess what? This is Excel. So if we are now on week what? We are on week 4. Once you put on week 4, see, we are on week what? Week 10. You see, this starting is moving. Activity 1, when it will start, when it will end, except. Good. Thank God like I said, I'm taking it that everybody is a student somewhere. Someone's hand is up. Mr. Look for the name. Good. Mr. Tajuddin, your hand is up. Is it a question you have, or you want to draw my attention to something? If it's a question, I would just like to beg that let me quickly try and round up because I'm racing against time. So, oh, your hand is up, maybe down. Maybe it was a mistake. Good. So, like I said, we are all students, me inclusive, right? So I have a plan, and the funny thing is, I'm learning some things that this will even make sense for me to do. So you can just forget the whole reading English and blah blah. The key thing is that you can do even things that are you will never think of using Excel for. Oh, I want to organize my study plan. Exam is coming in next month. I want to have a plan, around what I read, what I revise, and all of that. Perfect. Excel has something for you. Let's go. You work in the HR space. You want to help people get jobs. Like, I mean, we want to help people with getting the right candidates. You you are just a recruiter, let me use that word, and so you want something to manage your recruiting process. Guess what? This is it, Excel. How many interviews, job openings, many interviews have you connected for candidate? How many candidates do you have in your pipeline? You know, what stage are they? Are they doing interview stage one, blah, blah, Excel. So that's, let me see if there's one more thing to show you in Excel. You have people or you yourself, you're giving birth, you want to do baby shower, Excel. So now, question number one, how can you get this, right? Getting this very easy. Open Excel. This one is easy to remember. You don't even need to memorize it. You can jot it down anyway. Open Excel, right? Go to File, right? I hope you can see my screen. Just go to File. Go to New, right? When you go to New, right? You will see templates. You will just see these templates. So it's not something that you have to do magic to make it come up. Search for anything you want. If you don't know what to search for, depending on the category of what you want, I'm looking for something to use on a personal level. What do? I click on personal, right? I'm going to see a bunch of templates around it. So that baby shower, see it here. You're a movie person, you will see movie list. You will see all kinds here, right? So you don't have to start from scratch. That Gantt chart, all those things I was showing us, you can get them here. So this is the end of Excel demo, right? So go try this one out. And importantly, you can even learn Excel. You can see this Learn Excel, how to learn Excel. There are tutorials here that Microsoft has done. All you just need to do is double click on the tutorial and it will open, and right from there, you can start even learning how to use Excel. So I click on start. Something has gone wrong. Well, this is it here. So this is it. Let's go, and then it teaches you Excel. All those things, yeah, you're seeing me go through. I got them from that place. So lastly, it is Power BI, right? So what about Power BI? Power BI, amazing. Did this with Power BI. I'm a financial market enthusiast, so I did this to track everything about stock market and all. And guess what? I did this 2017. That's 4 years ago. Every day, this thing is updating itself. It's picking data from a FX, picking data from stock market, picking data from CBN, picking data from OPEC, and it's doing all this that you're looking at, right? So I don't know how you can get the link, but if you go to my website, that's why I said if you go to our website, I have most of these links there available for you to access. So you will see this free link there. Then, so that's that one. The last part is for those who even need to analyze company data. So you see how nice it looks when you do them on Power BI, So that's the end of my presentation. My time is up. So thank you very, very much. I hope I've been able to bring up our interest in Excel and Power BI.
Yes, thank you very much, Michael, for coming on and sharing your knowledge with us. I'm sure the participants have been able to learn a great deal already. So even though you mentioned that it's not an Excel session, right? You can't teach them Excel right now, but I even look at the little hints that you've given, so I believe you can make a lot out of that already. So maybe we can squeeze in just one question, if there are questions now, before the next speaker will. She's already on. That's Labrina. She's already on now. But so maybe one question from the participants, and we can call it a wrap.
Okay.
So is there a question from anybody?
I understand everything you talked about Power BI, but my question is, since Power BI has much of my data, how secure is Power BI? Can I really rely on the security Power BI is providing?
Okay, so security. I see someone's hand also up. Maybe I can just combine the question. So somebody in our teams, I see his hand up, Trailblaze.
Yes, so Trail, do you want to kindly speak? You can just unmute and speak. Go ahead and ask your questions really quickly.
Going one, going two, going three. Okay, my time is, I'm looking, so I don't need to Labrina's time. So great, about security, yeah?
Okay, hi Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for the brief session on Power BI. It's actually an
My
amazing.
pleasure.
Okay, so my question is if we have some people here who might be interested in taking data analytics to another level or probably pursuing it as a career path. And I'm seeing that you have so much knowledge in Power BI. Do you provide mentor to mentee sessions?
Okay, I think that one is easy to answer. Though my answer might sound too commercial because the one we do is the paid mentor to mentee. So if you go on our website, actually we do trainings, but unfortunately they are paid trainings. So the only one where you can join, but it's don't know how to pass it across because the link. So we do every week. We try to do like a free training every week. So that's the one. That one I know is not paid. Then there's a WhatsApp group. That one too is not paid. It's a community one, so it's not paid. We have a YouTube. It's not paid. But the one where somebody is like coaching you through, that one is paid, and you can get information on our website if you're interested in us. But you can always search for any trainer. I don't know of anybody who does like a mentor mentee, like one-on. It's almost called one-on-one, but it's always very short too. And what they do is after training support. Uh, Apologies that I'm answering it haphazardly. I'm looking at the time. So
Okay.
the question the first person asked about security, how secure is the data in Power BI? The way I try to explain it is this, which I'm sure begins to take it into Mr. Kazim's zone. Your email, have you ever asked how secure is my email when you're using an email that is on Exchange or on Outlook? It's the same level of security, the same sensitivity, the same all that same controlled space. That's where also your Power BI data is. So it's very as secure as that one. If you don't give somebody your password, nobody ordinarily will have access to your data. So sorry, that's the end from me. Let me
Oh,
the second.
okay. Thank you very much, Michael. But what I think you can also do is to follow Michael on social media, right? So can you kindly quickly share your social media handle so we can take this off stage, right? So you can ask him any question that
Okay.
you want off stage. Yes.
Great. So LinkedIn is easiest. If you, I don't know, I don't want to say anything that might put us in trouble in this second one, but yeah, or even
Okay.
the phone number, anyone. But my website, if you on the website, if you go there, if you call anybody and say you want to reach me, if you are not able to reach me directly, they will always pass you directly to me. So that's why I say the website looks more like the central place where you can
Okay. Okay.
track. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're grateful for having you with us today. And
Thank you.
so you've heard it from Michael already. So now